Hello, welcome to my guide based around our health in Maid of Sker. I'm also going to be covering how much damage enemies can deal to us as well. Just so you know, optimizing which healths you can take and not take, it's not going to save you a great deal of time. The main reason I'm doing this guide is because when I'm doing runs, especially short ones, where it's very specific items you pick up and it's not like any loot sort of system where you have to loot and craft. I only like picking up exactly what I need to pick up for my run. So if there's any runners out there that are like me in that regard, then you might find this guide useful. Also in this guide, I will be covering the two boss fights in the game, explain them in a little bit more detail, and so you know how many heals you actually only need to use for them on an optimal run of that fight. So before we get into the actual game, just want to go over a few little things about enemies. All of this is from full health. So from full health, a standard enemy, it takes them 8 hits to kill you. On the 8th hit, it can either be a normal hit, or it can be an execution. Essentially, with the execution, they pull you into a death animation. Uh, Even if you're running past them, they can quick hit or pull you into that animation. So don't think you're safe just because you run past other enemies and they don't grab you, because from what I've tested, if you're on one hit, it's very, very likely that they will just pull you into the death animation. As for Abraham, it takes Abraham 3 hits to kill you from full health. The main problem with Abraham, though, is that he can chain his hits very quickly. So if you're kind of stuck around him for about 1 or 2 seconds, he will just chain hit you and you'll die instantly. Depending on what your health is at, if he only has to hit you once and then you're in execution range, unless you can get past him really quickly, he will do his hit and then instantly execute you. Luckily for us, though, we do skip Abraham for the most part, so this isn't really a problem, but it's just some good information to know. Right, so I've skipped ahead a bit until we get to this point. If you've watched the tutorial, you'll know we're about to take some scripted damage, which will drop us to 50% health. At 50% health, it's going to take normal enemies 4 hits to kill us. Abraham, it only takes 2. As we come around here, we're going to come up to our first health. We don't want to take this health at all. The reason being is when you pick up an item for the first time in this game, it's going to basically pause the game and show you the item you've just picked up. The only way to get out of this is by pressing escape. We do have a tool which will bind your escape key to space, so you can exit out of the pickup a lot faster than usual. So now we're coming up to the furnace boiler room, where we're going to come across the second heal. We're not going to take this one either, basically because you can sort of get stuck in the corner sometimes, and it's not a very good one to exit out of the pickup menu on either. So we shouldn't get hit 4 times at all until our next heal, so it's fine just to skip that one. Right, so now we've just finished the mines. The mines can be quite tricky, but for the most part you shouldn't get hit any more than 2 times. So now we're at this door, and basically this is where our heal is, where we're going to get the pickup menu. Reason is because we can't do anything else until we wait for this door to open, so as long as you get a quick menu exit and then heal before the door's opened, you will literally not lose any time at all. Which is why that is the first one we pick up, and we'll heal back to full health. So after the maze, we're going to be coming across our next health in the run, which is on the fountain. We're not going to pick this up either, just simply because we don't need it. We'll be picking up another health very soon after we pick up the modulator. Also for this bit, I will just say, because it's not in a tutorial, you can do this way super easy. You don't have to wait for the enemies at all. You can just pick up the modulator and run straight past. The door should not close in your face if you're fast enough. So this is the garden section. Some people really don't like this section at all, but it's very, very simple once you get the hang of it. Ideally, you want to kind of strafe around trees as much as you can, but try not to waste time doing it. If it's a great gardens, you won't get hit at all, but sometimes you can get hit 1 or 2 times. But it's not too bad since we've already fully healed. This is our next heal. It's right next to the lever, and it's a quick pickup. As long as you pick it up quickly and not do what I did. We won't need to use this heal now though, because we should have plenty of health to get to the next sections. Here we're going to be coming across the next health in the run, which is in the library. Unless you've took a lot of damage and you've used your heal, you don't need to pick this one either. If you have been unfortunate and the AI have hit you multiple times, which has forced you to use your heal that you had from the gardens, I would recommend picking this one up. You can do it fairly quickly, and it's on your way anyway, so it's an alright one to pick up. But if you've still got your heal and you can still take at least 3 to 4 hits, you do not need this heal at all. Very quickly, I just want to point out, if you didn't know, the enemies cannot get into the elevator at the end of the second floor. I found this out by just an accident on my first playthrough. But yeah, if you ever think, oh no, I need to get in there and press the button as fast as I can, or I'm going to get killed in the elevator, that basically can't happen. This is the second floor. There's going to be a heal straight through the doors. If you've had to use your one heal that we picked up from the gardens, I'd recommend picking this one up. It's a quick and easy one. It's just on the left on that table. So basically, we're going to be going into the Abraham fight now. Since it's not in a tutorial, the skip to get past Abraham, crouch down before you kind of get right up to him. This will make it pretty much 100% consistent. If you run up to Abraham and then crouch, it has a 50% chance of working or not. So as I showed there quickly, I'm at full health. Basically, I'm going to let Abraham hit me before we start this fight, just to show that the machine actually will not kill the player. It will not kill us. What the machine will do is bring us to our lowest possible health. So as we come around here, we just need to open these doors and activate the machine. For this test purposes, I'm going to go and get hit by Abraham now, and then I'll show my health at what I'm at. As you can see from there, Abraham did double hit me really quickly. So I'm at really low health. If I get close to Abraham, he is going to execute me instantly. As for this, I didn't tank the damage for that, but it's regardless. You can tank all of the damage for this boss fight, as long as Abraham doesn't kill you. And there we go. As for this instance, it didn't actually deal damage to me. As far as I can see, this is a 50-50 chance where the machine won't deal damage to you on the second cycle. Right. I've added another Abraham fight in just so you can see that you won't die even if you tank both the hits off the machine. As you saw from the menu, I'm at full health right now. So we're just going to go and do the fight as we normally would. For this way, you don't need to care about where the ticks are, because you're just going to take the damage anyway. As you can see, it's reduced us to the lowest possible health possible. Then we're going to activate it again. Keep our eye on Abraham, make sure he doesn't get too close to us, because that would be very unfortunate. And there we go. Tanked both the hits, and I didn't die. I basically think this is just so it removes any possibility from you dying if you're dodging Abraham. I think this is basically a scare tactic used by the devs to reduce you to an insanely low health, so you think you need to heal when you actually don't. As long as you stay away from Abraham, you're completely fine. He's the only real threat in this boss fight. Also, I didn't mention the other thing, during this fight you want to pick up this heal. And then, because we should have one heal coming into here, and we'll pick up that one, so that means we have 2 heals. After this fight, you can use your heal. And then we'll still have 1 heal left for the Isaac boss fight. So now, as you can see, we're back in the furnace boiler room, basically, after Isaac yeets us down back into the basement. If you have no heals at this point, for whatever reason, I'd highly recommend picking this one up. But if you need to heal, do not use it. Basically why is the next cutscene, it's going to heal us back to full health. No matter what health we'll be on, this cutscene will heal us fully. So we're now at the start of the Isaac boss fight. To trigger it, we have to use a save. Essentially for this, we can tank the damage as long as we're fast enough pressing the levers. So as in the tutorial it states, we go to the furthest ones first. If you're fast enough, you can do both of these before the music even stops. Just keep on running though, because we're going to tank this bit of damage. Go grab this lever and then heal on the way back. Don't worry about running into the smoke, it does literally 0 damage. And then we tank this hit. Press the button and quickly run into this chamber and put the pocket watch down. After that you will not take any more damage. So now we're going towards the end of the game. I'm going to show the path to finish on the good ending. Just to talk about the enemies that are in that bit. There's 2 enemies. Since we're 50% health, we can take 4 hits before we die. For the most part, as long as you're quick enough, the enemies won't bother you. For some reason in this run, the enemy wasn't there, which was quite weird. There should be an enemy in this corridor running up to it. As long as you're fast, he shouldn't follow you down. There's an enemy in this room, which once you open this door, he can come over sometimes. But as long as you get through the door as fast as you can, he shouldn't block your corridor. If you get bad RNG, they can block you in the corridor coming back down. And that is it for my guide. I hope you learned something from it, or you can see that you don't need as much health as you would think. So yeah, thanks for watching. Also, on one last note, I just want to quickly mention the damage values for hard mode. As I imagined before I can finish my hard guide, people might want to start running hard mode. And if you haven't really played it that much, this could be helpful for you. So from full health, standard enemies will kill you in 3 hits. Obviously the 3rd hit will be either they'll just hit you and you'll die, or they'll pull you into a death animation. So realistically, if you get hit once and you know there's upcoming enemies where there's a very high chance you'll get hit more than twice, you really need to heal. For picking up health, at this moment in time, I'd fully recommend picking up every single health we encounter in the run, just in case things go wrong, as enemies stay aggroed on you a lot longer than easy mode. It can make instances like the first floor very difficult if too many enemies decide to tag along with you. As for Abraham, he'll kill you in 2 hits now, from what I tested. But for the most part, again, it doesn't really matter with Abraham, because we don't really interact with him much. As long as you can kite him around his boss room, and just stay out of his way. You'll have no trouble with him. As for the damage during the boss fights, so the sort of scripted damage, in Abraham's boss fight, it deals the exact same amount of damage, and it works in the exact same amount of ways, as far as I'm aware. I have tested this, and again, the machine didn't kill me. And for Isaac's fight, it works in the exact same way. Be mindful though, the purple smoke can actually deal a fair bit of damage on hard mode. So if you can, try and avoid the purple smoke during that section, as it could end to you dying unexpectedly. And that's pretty much it. Oh, remember, because you're on hard mode, when you're running up to an enemy, even if their back's turned to you or they're facing you, it doesn't matter. They'll hear you before you get past them. They'll actually hear you before you get to the point of passing them. So that means in hard mode, quick hits are a very more likely occurrence. So just be mindful of that. And the fact that, like Abraham, enemies can do a double quick hit, especially when it leads to an execution. They can hit you to take you down to execution level, and then in my personal experience, I've had it where when I've tried to run away, they've actually pulled me back towards them and finished me off. So yeah, thank you for watching this video if you watched it in its entirety. I hope I've been able to show you something that you didn't know or help you in any way possible with this run. I will be doing a hard mode guide as well. Due to finding more things that I need to test, the hard mode guide will be delayed a little bit. I'm really trying to get it out as fast as I can though, so more runners might be more intrigued to run hard mode, because in my opinion it's the best way to run the game. So thank you guys for watching.